Hello again, missionaries. Artie Pingolt, Mission Project Service, back again for session 2 of our mini webinar series on how funders are different. I'll begin with this outfit that I'm wearing today. For those of you missionaries from India, you're well acquainted. I was given this after I gave a week-long grant writing seminar to a group of sisters and priests and brothers in Chennai, India, on Thomas Mount, for those of you in the area that know that. So where supposedly Doubting Thomas was buried. But I wear it today because, one, I'm not entirely comfortable wearing it, you know? Sort of an American here, and this isn't something I'd ordinarily put on. But why shouldn't I? You know, to be a little, because I'm asking all of you to essentially put something on that might feel a little different. And that's this whole world of grant writing. It probably doesn't feel comfortable right away. There's a lot out there, and you wonder, how does it do? And then you wonder, well, you know, how does it look on you when you try to do it? So we'll get through this together. So session 2, on our different types of funders we're going to go after will be the smaller ones for this session. So let's begin with number 1. What are called smaller. I originally said one and done, and then when I started working at it, I thought a better way to state it is clearly defined. Now, these are typically grants for $5,000 to $20,000. So relatively speaking, small grants. And the smaller foundations, oftentimes they give many small grants, fewer large grants. And in their reporting, what they're just asking for is honesty and accountability. So they're going to be very clearly defined as to what they will fund. I say in fact, they prefer it. They prefer an easily understood and measured type of project. You can imagine what I'm thinking. You're going to build something. You want a motorbike to reach people in your parish. You want to drill a borehole for water, or you want to buy books for students. So the foundation will offer those clear criteria. I use this sort of little indicator. This is the foundation, and all they're looking is for you, the missionary, to come to them. That's what they're looking for. You'll see the difference as we move ahead, but they're very clear and straightforward. And you'll find a lot of these. In fact, probably for your benefit, if your needs are small, most of these foundations operate this way. I'll just mention a few of them right now. The Loyola Foundation operates this way. The Cook Foundation, that's K-O-C-H. Adveniat, Kirchenot, Pastoral Mission Fund, Catholic Human Services Foundation, Hilton Fund for Sisters, the International Foundation, and MIVA, the various MIVAs that are out there. So now some of these smaller foundations can be a little clubby and they're harder to get into, but for the most of them, in fact, all the ones I mentioned, that's very clear what you have to do and what you have to apply to. So that's the smaller and clearly defined. Second is the smaller foundations that have integral priorities. Now, these foundations tend to be aware, they want to be aware of the local and regional issues that you live with. One of these foundations, for example, when I had talked to them about India, they had a very detailed understanding, for example, of the Dalit or caste population and how that was impacted there. It's not something that, it was the first time, for example, that I heard a foundation board member talk with that much detailed knowledge like that. So this type of foundation does care about that. They seek strategic impact even though they cannot compare to a mega or a large foundation. They can be seen to favor human development versus pastoral, but not always. Now, the good news about this, because they tend to be concerned with the integral part of what we were talking about, of that in our project cycle management, they understand that the needs you're trying to address are ongoing. They're not looking necessarily to be one clearly defined project and move on. They're open to hearing from you that this is an ongoing need. In that respect, I have found some of these foundations open to multi-year support. Now, Whereas the other foundations tended to want a report by way of showing accountability. The foundations here want accountability for sure, and they want to know, for example, how the money was spent, but they also want to show evidence of impact. They want to have that impact. So if it's measurable or if it's more anecdotal, they want to somehow see the difference that their funding has made. So we use this. Here's the foundation. They're sending messages out to you about what they want, and they're asking you to send things in. So today we dealt with the smaller foundations. And oh, by the way, the classic example that I would give, it's a foundation that is much beloved, would be the Raskob Foundation for Catholic Activities, RFCA, located in the United States in Wilmington. Very sophisticated, open to smaller grants, open to a little bit larger grants. Love to have a visit. If you're in town, they really want to engage and they really care and they're really smart in what they're trying to do. So those are the two smaller foundations or funders that we'll talk about today. I'll see you again next week. Thank you very much.